Download this code from codegive.com, link in the description below. Certainly. A queue is a linear data structure that follows the first in first out, FIFO, principle, meaning that the first element added to the queue will be the first one to be removed. This is similar to a line of people waiting for a service, where the first person in line is the first to be served. Key operations on a queue. 1. Enqueue, adding an element to the back of the queue. 2. Dequeue, removing an element from the front of the queue. 3. Front, getting the value of the front element without removing it. 4. Isempty, checking if the queue is empty. 5. Size, getting the number of elements in the queue. Implementation of queue in Python. In Python, you can implement a queue using a list, but it's more efficient to use collections.deque, which allows for 1. Operations for both Enqueue and Dequeue. Here is a simple implementation using a class. Explanation of the code. 1. Initialization, the queue class initializes an empty deque. 2. Enqueue, the Enqueue method adds an element to the back of the queue. 3. Dequeue, the Dequeue method removes the front element from the queue. It checks if the queue is empty before attempting to remove an element. 4. Front, the front method returns the front element without removing it. 5. Is_empty, this method checks if the queue is empty. 6. Size, this method returns the number of elements in the queue. 7. Display, this method prints all elements currently in the queue. Example usage. In the example provided, we create a queue and enqueue 3 elements, 1, 2, 3. We display the queue, check the front element, and dequeue an element. Finally, we check if the queue is empty and print its size. Conclusion. Queues are fundamental data structures used in various applications like scheduling tasks, managing requests in web servers, and in algorithms like breadth first search, BFS. Python's collections.deque provides a highly efficient way to implement queues, making it easier to manage the FIFO behavior. Feel free to modify the code and experiment with different operations.